Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Leilani. You could also call me Lay. Today I want to do an extended version of Summerween, only because I wasn't able to finish my TBR. So I have two books left. I have Demon in the Woods, and this is following the Grishaverse, and we follow around the origin story of the Darkling. It is a graphic novel. I'm kind of excited to read this. And then we also have The Silence of Bones. And I don't really know what this one's about other than the fact that we're going to follow around a 16-year-old girl who is helping out like the police bureau with figuring out murders of women. And I think there's going to be lots of betrayal. So today is currently Saturday morning. And I know I could finish this one today. Hopefully I can finish this one today and maybe by tomorrow. If I finish it early, I'll pick up another book. So I'm gonna get started with the easier one, Demon in the Woods, and then I'll give you an update. I ended up finishing Demon in the Wood and I'm giving it a 4-star. I really like it. Also, I really like the design of everything. We basically follow around the Darkling, who is going by Eric, and he is changing his name multiple times, and he's with his mother. And the reason why they're changing their name is because they are always on the run because of witch hunters. And it's just so sad to see, because you could see like it causes a lot of trauma on him and then also on the people he meets. But basically he's going to a camp that is full of people who are Grisha, and he meets these two girls, like this little girl who thinks he's cool because of his shadow powers, and then her older sister, and they become friends because he ends up protecting them from basically bullies who have more power than the girls. And you figure out quickly that people are just there to use you, and it's really just sad. I don't know if there's gonna be another book, but I wish there's another one, because I want to see when he actually has like a relationship with somebody, because there is betrayal in here. There is like you trying to understand the past of the Darkling. Most of this, or the beginning of the book, is his mom teaching him how to adapt to different places, to different situations, and it's hard on him. Like, he barely even smiles in here. So 4-star. I'm going to start reading The Silence of Bones and I'll give you an update around maybe the 100-page mark, so around here. Talk to you soon. I've read to chapter 7, which is 87 pages, and I'm enjoying this book a lot. I'm currently listening to the audiobook alongside it. There's a lot of tabs, and I basically tab them by what I think is important in the book. So blue tabs are mentions of women and how they're perceived and how they're disrespected. The Pink tab is about men and their personalities and how they act. Yellow is quotes, and then purple is important stuff about the case, and then red is stuff that made me angry. So this is set in the 1800s, or the 1800s, and in Korea. So there's a lot of things happening. So we follow around 16-year-old Sal, I think that's how you say it, or Sial, and she is a servant to the borough, like the police bureau, because her sister died and she went to go visit her brother's grave but couldn't find it. And the cops seen her and she started running away from the cops. And because of that, they basically took her. And since she has no family, they were like, well, now you're going to work for us. And they branded her face like with a hot iron with a symbol that means female servant. And I don't like that. But basically, a lot of people in here are disrespectful to women in general. And like it's the times when people are disrespected. But in here in Korea, during this time in the book, I don't know if it's actually happened in real life, but during this time, the police bureau, if they want to interact with another woman, they have to have another woman on their force. So they have these servants who are girls to interact with either dead bodies of women or questionings to women. Could either be a wife, a mother, a sister, like anybody, because they're not allowed to interact with women at all. And we follow around her in this case, and we're trying to figure out who is murdering these girls, but there's this one specific girl who is like higher up in their area, and everybody knows her, and they're trying to figure out why she died. There's a lot of mentions of Catholic stuff happening in here, because if you were seen practicing anything like at a Catholic church or anything revolving around that, it would be considered treason, and either you would go to jail or like die. But there is an officer I hate so much in here. He's like a commander, and he got humiliated because he sucks. He's giving off small dick energy. So basically, they were in a forest, and one of the officers got hurt, and his horse was on him, and there was like this animal trying to attack him. So this police officer draws out a bow and arrow, but misses. So she is like, dude, what are you doing? So she takes the bow and arrow, shoots the animal, and it hits it, but the animal doesn't die. And then the animal starts charging at her, so she has to run away. But because she was running too far in the forest, she got lost, and then the police officers basically left her. And she ran across this lady who is dressed as a man in the forest with a group of guys, and they're carrying like these books for some reason. And the woman gives her like good advice. Like she was trying to say like, go be free, but Saul doesn't have any family left. Like her goal right now is to figure out where her brother is. She assumes he's dead. He might not be dead. But her goal is to find his grave. And she has no family. But because she embarrassed this officer, he is now being super disrespectful in front of his crew. Like he threw a drink at her and he got mad. And then, let me tell you what he did. I'm going to just read it quote for quote, because I was upset highly. Ready? It says, he was still for all of a second, and then he lunged forward. It all happened too quickly for me to scramble away. He grabbed the collar and dragged me, tugging me so hard the fabric turned into a noose around my neck, squeezing my throat shut as I struggled across the floor. A moment later, I was in the air, crashing down the steps and rolling onto the courtyard. Saliva tinged with coppery blood rolled out of my mouth as I tried to reorient myself. She's 16 years old. This is a grown man. And he's like he's beating her. And then he's calling her out of her name and basically saying she needs to know her place and that she's worthless. And she basically tells him, learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, um, because you suck. And then she mentions, because the officer that she did save is high up in command, and he said that after the investigation, he's gonna grant her whatever wish she wants. And her wish is to have a home, and he's like, I promise to send you home. And now that officer is kind of scared, semi. But he sucks. But I'm enjoying the book a lot. I'm going to read to, I think, chapter 12 because it's around 150 pages. And then later tonight, when my friend comes back, I think we're going to watch the thriller movie called The Tutor, and it has that kid from Stranger Things in it. It's on Netflix currently. Basically, I think he's like super creepy and he's like stalking his teacher. So my goal is to read to 150 and then watch that creepy movie. And then I'll give you an update later. It's the next day, it's Sunday, and we did watch The Tutor. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 4 stars. It was actually intriguing, even though like it might have just been intriguing because me and my friend were like discussing like who we think is crazy or who we think a murderer is. And at first the vibe is off. Like you think it's gonna be like a cult type, like it has a cult type of feel, and then you're like, no, it's actually a murder mystery. Huge miscommunication trope. That's what we were arguing, or we were like discussing a lot during the film. And then there's like a plot twist and betrayal and gaslighting and manipulation. But it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. So basically, like, this guy is a tutor. He gets a call from his agency and it's like, hey, there's a good deal. It's under the table, $2,000, like $2,000 to $3,000 a day if you tutor this kid named Jackson, who's 17, and it's like during the summer. So he goes over there and he has to live there for like a week, and he's tutoring this kid, but you could tell like something's a little bit off about him, and he's giving off these weird vibes. But it's like he's lonely, he's an only child, and but also his like family or like cousin is giving off weird vibes. But through the whole movie you're like, oh, this is weird, and you find out like he's stalking him, but then also you find out why he's stalking him. And yeah, it was cool. I would recommend seeing it if you want like a chill movie to watch. But I want to talk about this. Speaking of gaslighting and manipulation, oh my god. So I'm on chapter 12. I've finished to page 156. So the police officer, or the inspector that I liked, Inspector Han, is trash. I decided all men suck. All of these men suck. I don't have faith in men. So basically, I was saying her name wrong, and I'm still probably going to say it wrong. The L is not pronounced. Her name is spelled S-E-O-L, but when they say it in the book, it's not pronounced, so I think it's Sal. And she looks up to him as an inspector because he's nice to her and he shows her respect and all of this stuff, and he's like congratulating her and giving her praise because she's able to like help assist him with the case, because there is a girl who is a suspect from the murder, and the girl is talking to Saul about it, and she tells him everything, right? But then there's this other officer who got humiliated. I forgot what his name is. It starts with a K. And he's like, no, the inspector has something to do with it. So they're like going back and forth of like, no, nothing's wrong with him, he's a good guy, yada yada yada. Inspector Han invites her to help him on the investigation, and they go out and he's like telling her to help him get all this information. she messes up because they're out and about and he tells her to hide or something, or not to be seen, and he's talking to somebody, and because he's talking to this person, they end up hearing her like step on a branch and they get caught, which triggers like this whole reaction where like there's these people that's actually trying to gang up on them and kill them. So when they're all fighting, one of the bandits like grabs her by the throat and has a knife towards her and threatens Inspector Han, and is like, oh, if you don't drop your weapon, I'm gonna kill her. And he basically says, I don't care, that's her problem, it's her fault that she got in this situation anyway. So he sucks, and because of that he has been ignoring her, or like giving her like attitude and all these stupid looks, and he's like, it's your fault that that part of the investigation got messed up, you should have known better. And he sucks. Also, he is torturing the inmate, who is a girl, for more information because he's getting impatient of what is happening. And what's funny is you could see him being a gaslighter, being a liar, being a manipulator. And one of the sections in the beginning I highlighted because Saul asked him like, how can you spot a liar? And he gives her reasons of like, oh, this is how you know someone is lying. So all men cannot be trusted. That's all I have to say, guys. What is happening? I am enjoying it though. I just don't like the men, and I want her to live a happy life because I'm sad because he was the only person she was looking up to as like a mentor, and now it's like he doesn't care about her at all. So yeah, I will give you an update. I'm going to continue reading, and if anything else interesting happens, I will let you know. Okay, so it's later at night and I have completed The Silence of Bones. I'm giving this a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the history of Korea. I enjoyed the writing style. I enjoyed the whole investigation and the twists and turns, and maybe you might be related to somebody, or so it was really good. I don't want to get into more spoilers, but there are a lot of tabs in here. I would recommend this to anybody who likes investigation books. This revolves around like Catholics and like the religion, and how if you were caught being a Catholic during this time, it's treason. And it's cool to learn other people's histories, because even in the author's note, they talk about like what happened during that time when people found out you were Catholic. And yeah, so this is a 4-star book. I do want to say this is not a like happily ever after book. So the ending has made me feel really, really sad. And I just want Sal and her brother to have like the best life. She deserves a happy life, and I feel like she didn't get it. But yeah, I don't want to spoil the endings, so I won't say anything more, but other than 4-star, you should read. And so yeah, that's gonna be the end of this vlog. I will probably pick up the rest of the books by this author because I really enjoyed her writing style. One that I already have on my TBR is The Forest of Stolen Girls. So yes, I'll see you in my next vlog, and thanks for watching. Bye.